I remember saying boo to a Volvo on the west side, filled with frightened white faces. Who was I to be afraid of anyway? A 20-something veggie West Side girl fighting the good fight of inclusion and voice at a predominantly white community college by the beach where my best friend sold jewelry and fell in love. Boo. And I became their worst fear. And what must that fear look like? A skirt made of watermelon rinds, my face blackened with coal, each braid secured with tiny little white bows, my head tilted to one questioning angle. Ooga booga booga boo. And I am the minstrel show the kill whitey nightmares are made of. The organizing uppity type, the well-read new Negro with all the answers, a revolution over my right shoulder, an army of fatigued nappy babies in black berets to my left, and my man, my king, festooned an armory of red, black, and green Kwanzaa baskets rimming with fruit and ears of corn, Habarigani, my sister, as my brown fist eclipses all traces of light. I am none of those things. You won't find me hiding underneath a yard of fabric with charcoaled eyes waiting for my turn to speak. You won't find me yelling Sister Soldier style, getting my point across with a reverberating mic at a rally somewhere downtown. Let me explain. I know what it's like to be called nigger, to favor the fairer without knowing why. To fold my lips inward, suck them smaller than they are. I remember fresh, permanent relaxers and leaving the salon, a Southland breeze feathering all the shiny, scabbed crown of me. As I got in the car and sang songs on the wrong side of the FM dial, remembering the anorexic ditto and candy-clad white girls of Hale Junior High who taught me how to hate my body. See, this rage comes from somewhere. I remember finding out about the Harlem Renaissance at a bookstore on the west side, all big and glossy, like, of course you know about these painters and posers for James Van Der Zee. Of course you marveled at the way he captured light on smoke and bourgeois ladies, how he made up allegories with children superimposed in wedding portraits and angels in still lifes of the dead. There's a scream that occurs when you're left out of something. A dying happens to blacks who don't want you to acknowledge them at a West Side gathering. The dread who favors the white girls the way candy favors sweet. I mean, without one, there isn't the other. There is a place where silence comes from. I remember tanks on Palms Boulevard counting the flame twisters of South Central the day we learned our lives were cheaper than we suspected. And all I wanted to do was to make sure my brother was safe and that my mother got home from the valley, that we were together, that we could survive this, praying that it would pass and hearing over and over that quote from a place I have forgotten, "You know you will be ready for a revolution when you are ready to eat rats." The grocery store on the corner sold out of every bag of bread and gallon of milk. We watched interviewers, newscasters call us names, finding a place for their rage. We watched interviewers on TV asking the poor why they were stealing baby formula and diapers from abandoned markets. And I suppose I never felt so small, so silent. Because I wasn't ready for no bloody revolution. I wasn't ready to eat rats. And the fists I held up on La Brea and Wilshire that first night was to protect myself from a brother standing in the middle of the street looking for a place to put his bullets and his rage. I do what I'm supposed to do, learn to look beyond the signifiers of class and color, understand that beyond every revolution is another story, another oppression. One summer in South Central on a schoolyard, I noticed that everyone was brown. Each African, Cambodian, Chicano child looked a bit like me. I couldn't make out their races as they played, and I realized that we shared something that I couldn't exactly name. It is that same feeling I get when my friend Jeff writes an enlightened poem about the violation of white privilege and owns his own peculiar benefit dulled by the slave trade centuries ago. It will be impossible to pay the debt, to rub smooth the relief of slavery from our backs. There may always be a time when we favor our hair as smooth and glassy as Michael Jackson's. Look at the toll colonization and self-hatred have taken on his face. I believe in love, and I will believe in it until I am gone, until my scars are ash and I am the sum of my journals. Besides, how are you gonna hold hands with anyone with your fists all balled up?